John Philip Stamos says, I want to see you razz PPP back. So here's the thing. I could, but then I have to like research him. Here, the problem with that is, it's not really a problem, but here's the challenge with that, right? I literally have a gigantic group of obsessed weirdo nut jobs who every day take every single thing that I say and do into some incredibly exaggerated context to try to make money off of ridiculous content, right? So every day, everyone literally can know my business just by opening YouTube and searching for DSP, and 17 Detractor videos come up, and there's your content. Now you know what Phil's up to, right? In order for me to know what's going on with PPP, there's not much I can do. He doesn't have much of a public presence outside of him doing Keno Casino. So if he's not doing casino, there's not much to talk about. And in addition to that, I don't have time to watch Keno Casino. Like, I'm being real with you. I don't. I work so much. I don't have time to sit there and watch their show. I mean, some people have even said, we haven't seen you, pop in for a casino in a long time. What gives? I don't have time. I'm just so busy that I don't have time. They're broadcasting when I'm broadcasting. Sometimes by the time that I have free time, they're already offline. So I don't have time for it. So it's hard to grill someone when you just don't have opportunity to know everything going on with them. I'm sure if I watched like 2 episodes of Keno Casino that I would have enough, but I don't have time to do it. All right, here's the thing. You guys have criticisms of PPP. They're fair, and that's fine, but there's not much I can do about that. You see what I'm saying? I can relate this to him. Like, some people are like, oh, we didn't like how the Grill Phil segment went last night and stuff. I could tell him that, but it's up to people to reach out to him and be like, hey, we didn't really like how that went, or it can improve by doing this. I can't, we don't even know every week. Like, I allow the segment, obviously. I'm okay with it, totally okay with it. And I don't know necessarily what he's even going to really bring up. So it's good because it's like spur of the moment. I think it's better that way. If I knew everything pre-planned, I don't think it would be as good, right? But I don't know. Like, what am I going to tell him? Oh, so my viewers said that it went too far. I could tell him that, but it's kind of like the critics should criticize the person who they're criticizing, but you guys are coming to me because I'm part of the show too, and I hear you. That's good, but I think he needs to know it publicly too. You know what I mean? Like, let him know. Hey, I think it went too far. It's fun to some extent, but Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Like Alfred says, well, you should urge PPP to join a gym and get started eating healthy because he tries to dictate how you operate. Yes, but it's such low-hanging fruit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, yes, tell him he's fat. I think he knows that already. So I don't think it really has much of an effect, does it? If the guy, I don't think it's that big of a deal, you know? Cram and rush, and it went too long and it got too overblown all at once. So if we're going to do that segment, we need to find a way to more streamline it so that, yes, we're doing the wrestling. Yes, we have the segment, but nothing feels too long or, you know what I mean? Too overblown. I do think it did. It got way too overblown. So, we got to find that balance. And like I said, people are having great ideas and I agree with them. And so by the way, so does PPP. Like, we want to do other content. Like, let's do something where we have topics where we talk about that isn't wrestling. And it could be drama, but it could be other creators as well. It's not just about me. It could be about other things. That's the thing. The Grill Phil segment's all about me. But I think seeing us interact and talk about other topics is a great idea too. That's something that definitely could work. But we need to figure out how to do it. It's got to be its own thing. It's a lot of stuff to digest and talk about. And now he's back from vacation. So we'll be talking more about that stuff and trying to figure it out. Yes, but Sarah, here's the thing. She says, PPP accusing you of being a biphobic, woman-hating incel was really upsetting. Yes, but he's playing the role of the detractor. Don't you get it? Like, that's the point of the segment. He regurgitates the detractor memes that are going on. And then I can address them. And so obviously I have my take on it, right? Exposed to the world. And then you can digest it however you want, right? Like, that's the point of the segment, though. I think people don't get it. I mean, really, like, I just think some people just don't get it. See, you all, again, I guess you guys don't get it. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. If you don't understand it, then I don't know. Like for example, okay, all the stuff that's been going on this last couple of weeks, people are going on Twitter and doing crazy shit, and then they yell DSP. Do you really think that anyone in their right mind thinks that I'm responsible for that stuff? Like, literally anyone could do anything, and just because they bring up my name doesn't mean I'm involved or I'm responsible or I have to say a word about it. I'm not involved with any of it. But that's the meme, and that's what they're bringing up, and that's the stupid shit. You know what I mean? See, that's true too. I will say that I think Dab Pants has a point. He says the segment only really works if people know about the detractor memes, and if they don't, then the segment doesn't work. So here's the thing, right? I feel like for my fans, the wrestling part of Smart Guys is the best part. Correct? For my hardcore fans, people who like me, my opinions on stuff, my content, and they want to hear me talk about wrestling because I used to do Smart Guys over a decade ago, right? The wrestling portion is the portion for you. But then there's the whole other portion, and the other portion is for the Kino Casino viewers because that's the kind of content they're used to. They're used to the drama, the grilling, the detractor shit, the memes. So it's kind of like, again, having that balance, right? It's like the first half of the show, the wrestling will be for my fans. The second half is for their fans, right? But that's kind of the point I've been making is all along, if I had leaned 100%, okay, 100% into drama, I probably would have exploded in popularity. I probably would have made a ridiculous amount of money, right? It's true. Look at what was happening. I was blowing up back in the summer and the fall with interaction with them, felting Rich constantly, even bringing my detractors into it and making fun of them publicly. I mean, look at the shit that happened with guys like Duty getting demonetized, super crazy, stealing the detractors' money and running away with a phantom lawsuit that never was going to happen, right? And that was all good stuff, right? And I would have been able to do that. I would have been able to do that pretty much endlessly if I felt like it. But I would have then had to change my content. My content wouldn't have been, hey, play video games and do chill content with the audience that feels like a social hangout session. Instead, it would have been constantly attack people, constantly get at odds with people, go on shows and get into arguments. I probably would have been involved with Lolcow shit, Lolcow Live and all of that. It would have been me just embroiled in all of it. And would it have made money? Yes. Would it have been popular? Yes. But is that necessarily what's best? I don't know. I don't think that overall that's what I should be doing right now. I feel like a balance, okay, is much better, much better than jumping headfirst into it. Because what I feel like is if you jump 100% headfirst into that drama sphere, you can't go back, right? You can delve in it, right? You can delve in it and then go back to it and draw upon it when you need to or when you feel it's best, and that's okay. But once you jump head first into that and you become that, and that's the end all be all of what you are, then that's all anyone's going to care about. And that's all anyone's going to seek, right? So that's what I'm thinking. Like, that's why I'm saying I just don't feel like that's what I should do. And a lot of people disagree, right? And, it is what it is. But I'm trying to do what's best for everyone. I know that if I jumped into that head first, I would lose a lot of my old fans and people who've been with me for a very long time and people who've been along the way and support me every day. Like the reason why I still make a living is because of my longtime dedicated fans, as well as some of the new exposure and new support I'm getting from casino viewers. It's a mix. So that's why I can't just go, oh, I'm just going to change everything that I am and be on the internet. And the truth is, I don't want to 100% jump into drama content. I don't enjoy it like these other guys do, right? To them, it's like we cause drama, we cause all kinds of we make fun of people, there's arguments, and then the money comes in, right? The bag comes in. And then well, we're great. But that's not me. Like to me, I don't want to make that content. I don't really enjoy it. For me, to get involved with someone in that capacity, it's because they deserve it. Like they've done something to me or they've done something heinous and they need to be exposed and they need to be taken to task for it. And I think in those special cases, it works, right? When we reacted to the Rich documentary, right? Or, these stupid ass detractors being dumb as shit, then it works. But I'm not the kind of guy that's just going to sit there and go after people all the time and purposefully get into arguments to make content farm shit. That's not me. And I get it. That's the game. That's where content has gone. But not everyone has to do it. Not everyone has to chase the bag. And I get that PPP is a little nervous for me. He's like, oh, well, in the future, what's going to happen if everything dries up with your gaming viewers and fans? And I've been telling you guys this for 5 years. I've been telling you all this. I can't just be the guy that sits here and plays games all day, every day. It won't work. No one's going to care about the 50, 60-year-old dude playing games all day. And I'm going to get older and I'm not going to be able to do that with my hands. I'm going to get older. My carpal tunnel is going to set in and my reflexes are going to be off and I'm not going to be able, but camera went on again. My AI camera went on again. I'm not going to be able to do it, So I have to delve into other realms. I have to delve into other topics and subjects, right? That's why I do a podcast every morning. And this podcast does well. People might not like to admit it because everyone made fun of me when I started this show and said, oh, he's not a podcaster. What is he talking about? It's not a podcast. Yet a lot of days I make almost all my income on this show. Sometimes I make all of my income on the show. But when I start the game, nothing else comes in. So I am a podcaster, whether you like it or not, and I'm doing good at it. Okay? So eat that for all the critics out there. Oh, he's not a podcaster because he's not doing it like everyone else. Not every podcast is exactly the same. Many are very different, and mine is pretty unique, and it still works and it's still successful. Okay? So that's the thing, though. I need to diversify. I need to do different kinds of stuff than just gameplay, and I fully agree there. I like the idea that Smart Guys has returned. It gives me something else to do that's not just gaming. But now I feel like I do need to start delving into other things as well. This year already, and last year too, there's a lot of games that I started playing, and then I dropped them. And people gave me shit. Why are you dropping so many games? Well, don't you understand that this is not 10 years ago? 10 years ago, literally playing every game and doing a giant playthrough from start to finish worked and was profitable. That's not necessarily what works and is profitable and what people want anymore. Things have changed. People don't just want nonstop gaming content. And quite frankly, I don't think I want to do nonstop gaming content. I do want to play certain games. I do want to finish certain games. But what I'm liking a lot more today? The variety stuff we're doing when it comes to like the flexibility now where I can play any game I want because I have a gaming PC. So I'm diving in and I'm trying out new indie games. Like this game about digging a hole or whatever, I didn't even know existed. And someone suggested it last week and said, yeah, it's actually a pretty popular game. A lot of streamers are playing it. And I loved it. And it was only 3 hours long, so it wasn't a big investment of time. But it was a fun project to do. And now we can do another one next week. That's the kind of stuff that I think will work. Stuff that's not, oh, you're going to play this playthrough that's 40 hours long, so now you have to commit to it for a month and a half to beat it. That stuff's starting to go by the wayside, guys. And I think we all have to accept that. I think times are a-changing. As much as I loved the old days of being a full-time YouTuber, making full playthroughs constantly, and that's all I was doing. It's not working anymore. That stuff is not what everyone is looking for on the internet, right? It's not. Can we be honest with each other here? It's just like people who want to hang on to the past and be like, oh, physical games, buying physical games. I want physical games. Guys, physical games are being phased out and they will not exist very shortly. And the sooner you accept that as the reality and you move on, the better. Physical games are being phased out and everything's going to be a digital subscription or a digital purchase that could be taken away from you at any moment. And there's nothing you can do about it because that's where the gaming industry is going. It's just inevitable. So stop denying that that's going to happen. Your physical game collection will not ever persevere. Okay? But people don't want to hear that, right? So now I'm telling you, long form video game playthroughs endlessly don't work anymore. If I pick and choose the games that I like and are working and I stick with them, that can work. But it's got to be a balance between me trying games that it's not going to work for business, but it's okay. At least we tried it. But then we stick to the games that are working. And then I do independent projects in between, like indie games. And then every once in a while, we throw in a fun multiplayer game. But then I have time to do variety projects like Smart Guys or another show. That's the future. The future is not Phil sits here and